One man can't change the outcome of a battle, not against 20 Taliban fighters, not when your command group is pinned down in a kill zone, not when machine gun fire is raking your position and RPGs are exploding around you. One man can't turn that around. The odds are impossible. Except that's complete rubbish. Joshua Leakey didn't care about the odds. August 23rd, 2013, Helmand Province, 1 British para, 3 runs into enemy fire, and the battle turned. This is the story of how Joshua Leakey earned the Victoria Cross. Welcome back to the war. Let's start with who Joshua Leakey is, because understanding the man helps you understand what he did. Born in 1988 in Tampa, Florida, British parents, grew up in the UK, joined the British Army in 2007 at 19 years of age, passed P Company, the Parachute Regiment's brutal selection course, and became a para. By 2013, Leakey had already completed 2 tours of Afghanistan, 2009 and 2011. He'd seen combat. He knew what war looked like, but nothing prepared him for August the 22nd, 2013. The mission was simple on paper: a joint UK-US assault on a Taliban stronghold in the Helmand Province. British paras, US Marines, Afghan soldiers. The objective? Disrupt a key insurgent group and search for illegal weapons. They flew in on Chinook helicopters, multiple birds. The plan was to land, dismount, secure the area and conduct the search. Standard operation, except the Taliban were waiting. The moment the helicopters landed and the troops dismounted, all hell broke loose. Machine gun fire, rocket-propelled grenades, accurate, sustained, deadly. The Taliban had set up a perfect ambush, and the command group, the leadership element of the assault, was caught in the open on an exposed hillside. This is what soldiers call a killing zone, an area where the enemy has pre-sighted their weapons, where every metre of ground is covered by overlapping fields of fire, where movement means death. The command group was pinned down. They couldn't move forward, they couldn't move back. They were stuck on the forward slope of a hill with no cover, and the Taliban were pouring fire into them. Within minutes, a US Marine Corps captain was shot and wounded. Communications were knocked out. The assault was falling apart. The command group tried to extract themselves from the killing zone, and then Joshua Leakey made a decision. Leakey's helicopter had landed on a different hill. His section was supposed to provide fire support for the main assault. They were in a relatively safe position on the sheltered side of the hill. But Leakey could hear the radio traffic. He could hear the panic. He could hear that someone was wounded, and he could see the command group pinned down on the opposite hillside. So he ran, across a barren hillside, under machine gun fire, bullets kicking up dirt around him, rounds snapping past his head. He ran towards the sound of the guns. When he reached the crest of the hill, he saw the full picture. Taliban fighters surrounding 2 British machine gun teams and a mortar section. The enemy had neutralised the fire support. The command group was defenceless. Leakey was a Lance Corporal, the lowest rank of non-commissioned officer, but he was the only one in a position to do something, so he took control. He led his section down the hill toward the pinned down group, still under fire, still exposed, and when he reached them, he didn't take cover. He moved down the forward slope, the side facing the enemy, to reach the wounded US Marine captain. Under continuous machine fire, Leakey provided first aid, stopped the bleeding, stabilised him, initiated the casualty evacuation, and then he realised something. The enemy still had the initiative. They were still winning, so he ran back up the hill, still under fire, to get a machine gun. Leakey returned to the machine guns that his section left at the top of the hill. He grabbed the machine gun, a 7.62mm general purpose machine gun, weighing over 20 pounds, and carried it to a better firing positions. Bullets were impacting the weapon's frame, ricocheting off the metal, but he kept moving. He set up the gun and opened fire on the Taliban, drawing their fire, inspiring the other soldiers to fight back. Now British and American forces were returning effective fire. The Taliban were no longer shooting at defenceless targets, they were in a gunfight. But one machine gun wasn't enough. The enemy fire was still too heavy. Leakey realised they needed more firepower, so he handed his gun to another soldier and ran again. This is where most soldiers would stop. Leakey had already exposed himself to enemy fire twice. He'd already saved the wounded Marine captain. He'd already gotten one machine gun into action. He'd done more than enough. But Joshua Leakey wasn't done. He then ran once more through heavy fire, carrying over 60 pounds of equipment, body armour, ammunition, helmet, radio in the Afghan heat. Grabbing the gun, he set up another suitable position, still under fire. Rounds were splashing around him, kicking up dirt, snapping past his head. The Taliban were focusing their fire on him. He was drawing the majority of the enemy's attention, and he kept climbing. Once set up, he opened fire. This was the turning point. 2 machine guns, effective fire, leadership, inspiration. The British and American forces saw what Leakey was doing, and they fought back with renewed ferocity. The Taliban had lost the initiative. They were no longer hunting. They were being hunted. The firefight lasted approximately 45 minutes. When air support arrived, the Taliban broke contact and fled. 11 insurgents were killed, 4 were wounded. On the British and American side, 1 casualty, the US Marine captain who Leakey had saved. He survived. He was evacuated. He went home. After the fighting stopped, Leakey handed over the second machine gun to another soldier. He returned to the captain. He oversaw his medical evacuation, making sure the man he'd saved made it out alive. The Ministry of Defence later summarised Leakey's actions in one sentence: gritty leadership well above that expected of his rank. But that doesn't capture what he did. He single-handedly regained the initiative. He prevented considerable loss of life. He saved his brothers. On February the 26th, 2015, the British Ministry of Defence announced that Lance Corporal Joshua Leakey would be awarded the Victoria Cross, the highest military honour in the British Armed Forces, the first living British soldier to receive it for the war in Afghanistan. On April the 14th, 2015, Leakey received the Victoria Cross from Queen Elizabeth II at Windsor Castle. He was 26 years old. He would be the last person to receive the Victoria Cross from Queen Elizabeth II before her death in 2022. Joshua Leakey ran into enemy fire 3 times. He saved a US Marine captain. He repositioned 2 machine guns under fire. He inspired his comrades to fight back. He turned a losing battle into victory. And he did it all as a Lance Corporal, the most junior non-commissioned officer in the British Army. That's what it means to be a para. That's what it means to earn the Victoria Cross. And that's why Joshua Leakey is a hero. Now go check out our other videos on the paras. Hi soldiers, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comments, and check out our merchant membership programs. And don't forget to check back in again soon. That's an order.